Hello, everyone. Sorry, this Twitch did not want to allow me to take over the stream there. I got killed off. I got killed by an advert. Welcome to What's Your Mod? I hope everyone can see this. Welcome to the first of what we hope is going to be many shows. In the What's Your Mod? I see in the chat there, how's your wrist holding up? It's okay. I'm doing my best. So with me, I have two modders from the Panzer Corps 2 community. They are Ezekiel and Rick. So hello, Ezekiel and Rick. Welcome to What's Your Mod?
Hello, how are you all? I hope it's going fine.
So obviously these guys are modders, they're not streamers, so this is their first ever stream, so be gentle.
Please don't rip me off.
So Ezekiel is from Argentina and Rick is from California, and their mod is Storm over Europe for Panzer Corps 2. So I don't know how many of you have heard of this mod. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the mod, Rick or Ezekiel?
Alright, this mod was developed the first time since like 2020 maybe, I think, I don't remember actually. It was the first mod that we were developing, but I actually released first the Panzer Corps remake. I think it was the first campaign, and then Rick came in, and then Grundle came in, and he take care of the rest of the grand campaign. And I started developing this from 1939 actually, and then I switched back to Spanish Civil War. I tried to add more things that were not on the Spanish Civil War official DLC to make it different, not be a copy of that. And I think that something that I really appreciate from the DLCs is that they don't cover all the things, so you can have some room for going for other scenarios that were not covered to make something original. I don't know if Rick wants to say something.
Rick. We seem to have lost Rick. I'm sure he'll be back later. What we'll do is so the thing about modding is it's always difficult to get started modding, and even though I think the modding process for this game is pretty simple, I want to go through exactly how you install the mod. So I'm just going to go through that now. This is the Steam installation instructions. I might do some written instructions for other, if you've got the game for other platforms, but I'm just going to cover the Steam instructions here. The vast majority of the people have the game on Steam. Okay, so let's get Steam to behave. Okay, so you should have Panzer Corps 2 up like this. This is Steam's large mode. If you use mini mode or maxi mode, just switch to large mode. It's going to make life a little bit easier for you. You can see there my playtime 1060 hours, so you can see how much of my life I have used on this game. Okay, so to get the mod installed, you want to go to the community tab. This is the easiest way as far as I know. Or you can use the workshop button on this screen actually. That might be even quicker. Okay, and then here you've got all the mods. Storm over Europe's right here. And then we just subscribe. And now that we have subscribed, I should now be able to go back to my library I have the magical Steam button here. It's validating the download, and then we're going to download. I've got optical internet, so this download should be pretty quick, and then we'll go through the little bit of the process in the game of enabling the mod. Rick, you back with us?
I think we lost him.
Okay, well, he's still in the chat room, so that's okay. So, Rick was going to say about the starting campaign 1939. You've got some campaigns on offer, is my understanding. Just explain a little bit about what the mod has to offer for someone who's just starting to play it.
All right. Well, actually, what this mod has to offer is we have made, like, it's pretty much as the Axis Operations DLC. We have the same kind of, gameplay stuff, because you have the main objectives, you have the bonus objectives. We added elite objectives or historical objectives. We wanted to be similar, so sorry, I forgot to push the button. So people who maybe wants to play this for the first time, feels that something familiar, And then we added something new that was the Storm Chasers unit mod, I think it was, to add more different units to the game. We couldn't add the models, but at least we added a lot of new units like infantry guns or different Panzers. And then we had a campaign going, like the historical path in this campaign will begin from 1939 actually, because you can alter some history in the process. So in some point there will be separate campaigns for the historical or historical branches.
Cool. So I've just, sorry to interrupt you there. I've just loaded up the game here, so I have to go into the mods tab. This is a necessary step. Go into the mod manager. Tick Storm over Europe. Apply. Back, and then I need to restart. So just a missing a necessary step there. Just make sure no one installs the mod and they're like, why? Where is it? Why isn't it working?
I think that I would like to add in is to trying to play one mod at a time, because if you have multiple mod actives, it's maybe gonna crash, because I think for example, you have Panzer Corps 1 remake. It actually has the unit mod toolbox, I think it was named, I don't remember the actual name, but it has the mod on it. So if you have these two mods going active, it's maybe gonna be some problems with the units or that stuff.
Yeah, this is I don't have them activated, but yeah, don't activate more than one mod at once is the advice. Okay, so we have Storm over Europe Condor Legion and Storm over Europe 1939. You want to talk about what's the difference between these two?
Yeah, the main difference is in Condor Legion, you play, Spanish Civil War. There's a difference from the Axis Operations DLC, because in the Axis Operations you have the infantry units of the Spanish AI. And here you have also the Spanish infantry, but you have some other vehicles for the Spanish AI, so they are performing a little bit better, and you have to go over you know, with scenario you can do different things, you know. And in for 1939 you have, you know, the standard Panzer Corps 2 experience. I try to create something different, you know, like different ways to play, you know, based it on what we have seen on uh, theater access operations, like our unit, our air scenarios, you know, air only scenarios, uh, some other features like an objective to deploy minefields or deploy bridges, you know, over rivers and that stuff, you know.
So
So I try to be.
am I good to play on the hardest difficulty? Do you think?
Uh, I don't know. Because I think the problem with balancing mods is that, you know, if you know, balance the mod for, you know, people have maybe not that good in the game, maybe for experienced players the mod will be boring, you know. And if you balance it for experienced players, maybe for new people it is gonna be too hard. So I don't really know what.
Oh right, okay. Well, I've just sort of, you know, some mods expect you to play on a certain difficulty, so you can just choose the difficulty that you're most comfortable with, right?
Right, right. I think this mod is actually harder than the Access operation because it's. I think we intended it for be, you know, interesting for people who want, you know, a more um, challenging experience, you know. And something that we were working on is to make prestige resets uh, in the beginning of each campaign, so you will not end up with like in later years with you know, 100 or 200 prestige. So you actually have to pay attention to what are you doing in the campaigns to get, you know, like more thought of action.
All right. Okay. Well, what I'll do then is I'll just start on standard difficulty, so we can just show the mod on a neutral difficulty. I know I like it hard, but not everybody does. Okay, Poland rejects Germany's attempt to negotiate peaceful settlement of Danzig, create an eastern corridor to Prussia, and join the anti-Comintern Pact. Okay, so we got the. This is sort of very similar to 1939 Axis DLC.
Make sure you click on the start operation Fall Vice. You have to, you know, it's not going to work right.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. Let me just. Can I escape?
Can you
this?
hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. Well, welcome,
Can
Rick.
you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you, Rick. Welcome.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome back.
You have to go back. You have to click on the start Fall Vice button.
Oh, okay. It's that. That's just like a technical issue that you can't.
We fixed it for a future update, but for now you have to click that button.
All right, good. That's good to know. All right. And then click proceed.
Yeah, then now you're good. Now you're good.
Now we're good. Okay, excellent. Let's get stuck into the game. It's quite enough installation. Let's play. I'm keen. I'm itching to play. Loading, loading, loading. Not too slow, but it's always, you know, I'm itching to get going, so. Hey, Tank Killer, what a nice start. Leadership and aiming assistance, double attack, precision weapon and ambusher, 0 slots, first strike. We start with some, so you've made some changes here, is my understanding. You want to talk through some of your balance changes?
Yeah, I think
extra cost to trophies of war and anti-air veterans, since they can be overpowering. So you'll have to take an extra negative trait to be able to use them.
You left most of the other stuff as it was.
For now.
For now. Okay, what should I go for? I'm going to go with Terrain Expert. That makes my units a little bit tougher. Since I don't know what I'm getting into, I'll lay off the negatives for now. Let's go with Master of Blitzkrieg. It's always useful.
Good morning, Herr General and Herr Havertz. You have been called back to active duty by the Oberkommando der Wehrmacht.
Hey, is that you? Is that your voice acting on there?
It appears that due to your rest location in Germany and your good
Generated
results
a
from your
German
time at
voice that
Speyen, the
can't speak
Oberkommando der
French
Wehrmacht
words
has
very
selected
well.
you to be part of a secret operation on the border near Poland.
Oh, that's very cool, though. I think that's cool. I'm sure the chat thinks that's cool. Secure all Jelwitz checkpoints. I think that's how that's pronounced. Jelwitz, something like that. Destroy the radio station.
You have been entrusted by the Oberkommando der Wehrmacht with the mission to conduct a false flag attack against our forces at Gleiwitz. It all points out that they are trying to prepare a casus belli against Poland. You have been provided with Polish uniforms and weapons, as well as some vehicles and artillery guns. It is vital to use them in this operation to ensure that we can blame the Polish for this sudden attack.
You used the smirky face of Hutman.
Your main task is to destroy the Gleiwitz radio station situated here. We expect to face resistance from our commandos, but we will have to use lethal force in this operation.
Vi will kill oven men. Tat is no tricked.
The Oberkommando der Wehrmacht has stated that tire sacrifice is needed in
You know, it's
order
funny.
to benefit Germany's interests, and there is no better officer to lead this operation. He must now take my lead. This mission is secret and is not to be discussed.
You know, this is a funny thing for all of us. English as a second language, or a language as a second language. Like, my Norwegian is on about this level, and Ezekiel here is from Argentina, so he's got English as a second language. It's in a way, it has a realism to it, you know, that these guys are, that they're either, you know, they're German but they're speaking English. I like it. Okay, just try and secure the checkpoints on the main roads. The rest of our forces are just finishing training near Kossel on the banks of the Oder River. They will not join this operation, so we need to plan accordingly. Okay. So which units am I allowed to use? These ones down here. Can I undeploy and redeploy? Can I pick and choose what I deploy?
Undeploy, but you can purchase and add to the deployment.
So what happens if I undeploy these units? Will they, I won't be able to put them back.
To add extra units, you have to purchase.
No, I understand that. I'm just saying, like, if I've got units here, if I select them and use the undeploy button, can I not then redeploy them?
I don't think it's active on here.
Oh, okay, let's try it. Okay, I can undeploy and redeploy. That's fine.
Okay.
I presume then that the design was that you're supposed to use the units provided and just buy a few extras to add to complement your force, right? Yes, yes. Hello.
Sorry, I got lost reading the chat.
Lots of complimentary stuff about the German speaking English there. They felt that was quite realistic.
Oh yeah,
Horrible, so it's hard to say.
well, if you didn't ever hear an Argentinian speaking English, that is so cringe.
You're fine. You're fine. I see. I have some extra. I have some extra 15 centimeter choices here. I have what looks to be the standard 15 centimeter gun, and then I also have the Type K K18 15 centimeter gun. So what's the reasoning there between the different kinds of 15 centimeter gun? In fact, there's 3.
Actually, if you want
The
to,
Storm Chasers unit mod file, it's part of the mod. So there's extra units.
They have slightly different roles, I see.
yeah, for example, when you go to the anti-tank weapons, you have actually some infantry guns there. But if you want to see more detail about it, you can go to the Slitherine Thread forum, where there's the Storm Chaser unit mod tool, and you can see what are the different units. I think he was missing for a couple of months, but he's back to work right now, so he's going to finish all the Soviet Union units.
Cool. I'm going to buy a tank. Let's get some heroes going. Tank killer. A tank with tank killer. That should get the job done. I'm gonna 0 slots this artillery so I can take it to 15 over strength. I'm a big fan. Uh, 3 slots left. What should I add? All right, I'm good to go. Let's deploy. Bomb, ba-da-dum. So you were saying before the show, you were talking about planned updates. You want to talk a little bit about those now?
Yeah. For example, I'm planning to update 1939 a bit. You know, changing a little bit of the units to be more historical. Then maybe some changes in the briefings, maybe to add more visuals to it. And then we were planning to do 9040. We are currently in the process of finishing 9040, and we are going to release it in 2 parts. The first part would cover, you know, all of Norway, 5 Gel, and then the part 2 will cover, you know, Rot, and then divide it into historical branches and historical.
Wow, that anti-aircraft gun will eat me alive.
Because maybe the unit is placed in anti-tank mode.
Yes, it is. It's just a lot more vicious than I remember it being.
One thing that we forgot maybe to mention is that we have changed the replacements costs. So when you're going for elite replacements, maybe you want to think about it twice, because it's gonna be actually a little bit more higher the cost, you know. So maybe you will want to lose 2 little units, if not any.
Choose wisely, is what you're saying.
Exactly. it is the same with the objectives. Maybe some objectives in some scenarios you would not be able to get all the bonus objectives, so you need to choose what or which one will you go for.
Okay. That's interesting. My 15cm gun didn't fire in support. Does it not provide support anymore? Or is the conditions for support fire changed?
In one of the regular 15 centimeters or one of the mod 15 centimeters?
It's a K18, so it's one of the new 15cm guns.
Yeah, maybe it can be a bug because yeah, you should take a look at it because they had the traits. I haven't seen it, but I don't know why they don't provide support fire.
Wow, not to worry, I only took one loss.
Be off.
Okay, let's pin these boys. Right, I gotta do something about that anti-aircraft gun, but not this turn.
Maybe for people who when you ask why the new units are not deployed in the map for the enemy is because I don't know how to. I mean, I actually know how to place the unit in the editor, but I don't know if they will work with other people games because that will mean that if one person wants to open the scenario file in editor, they will have missing some, editor files. So maybe that will cause crashes. So that's why they're not added.
Yeah, modding is not it's not easy, is it? It's actually it's a lot of effort to just create a new campaign like this on your guys' half. So that's very admirable that you've done it.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem with modding is maybe that I don't know, maybe you have to, for example, it's not something that you can do, if you don't know anything about. I mean, in this game, I think it's pretty easier. The only main problem maybe with it is the Lua scripting, but thankfully, the Exos operation scripts have some explaining or some explanatory notes about what does the script does, or how to maybe modify it. So a lot of this stuff we did is actually we take the scripts from the game and we just started to modify it and see the possibilities of it, and it, you can create some own scripts like Run the Lead for Panzer Corps Grand Campaign. He did a lot of cool, interesting scripts.
All right, we got some rain, so you're leaning on the bad weather as well.
Yeah, I think that was the most. I'm the one doing the scenarios. The terrain, the units, the scenario conditions and that stuff. And I think the hardest thing is the actual weather, because I mean, you need to be, at least at some point historically, it's actually hard, for this kind of type of game because it will, the weather will be random. I think there is no possibility yet to alter the weather in specific terms.
I like the sound of the rain. I'm getting support fire here, so I think it might have just been I moved the unit or something. Just looking at the chat. Any questions in the chat? I see Rick is happily in the chat answering questions about this. Got him.
Oh, we have Pavel here in the chat. He's doing a lot of research on units composition, like to be more historical. You know, like historical real units that were in, in, for example, I don't know, maybe in France at the time. So I think that maybe got a little bit easier in terms of balancing, because most of the time I just going to just place random units, but I try to be historical, because it will not be historical that Poland had like 100 tanks in one scenario, because that wasn't in real life, But
Poland didn't have 100 tanks.
yeah, obviously, but 1,000 tanks in one single scenario, or maybe in one scenario you have like Poland having the same amount of tanks that they have in the whole front, so that's not pretty much realistic.
So the historical aspect is quite important to you in this mod.
Yeah, I mean, not 100% historical, because that in a game I think it's impossible, because, for example, when you're moving your units, you will gonna change into history, because maybe some units will not be there, in that time, or it will take the fun of the game too. But we try to keep historical, but not like go overboard with it.
Oh, I'm just pushing my way through the enemy here. Dun 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 dun. Nowhere to go, baby. I see, like, you've started us off here with, like, no aircraft, for example. You've brought us in sort of more gently.
Yeah, because in this scenario, we tried to replicate the Gleiwitz incident that was actually a false flag attack by the Germans, as you all are aware of. So we didn't use any air units, because that will break the immersion of the scenario. So in the next scenario, you will have your air first, and you have to do it something like like in regular 1939.
I see that this pushing these guys out of this tile is not going to be easy. I should have brought some bridging engineers. Wonder if I could potentially get behind here. There's time. There is a little gap. Two for 7. I guess it's worth it, right? I'm actually running out of turns here. I've got 6 turns left. Alright, 1 for 10 using the engineer support. Make the bold move. No, these guys are well and truly lodged in there, aren't they? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, boys. If you're watching along, I'm gonna go plunging into the darkness. Ooh. Oh, I narrowly avoided a grave mistake. Okay, so what are your plans for the future with this mod?
Yeah, we're planning to do all the war, from 1939 to 45. We are planning to separate in some point in time the campaign in two different campaigns, like the historical and the ahistorical, so we can have more things to cover, and maybe we'll not end with a campaign with 50 scenarios, because it's gonna be like too extreme.
50 scenarios.
Actually, if I didn't separate 90-40, it will be like a campaign with 40 scenarios.
That's a lot of scenarios.
Yeah, because we are going for the East Africa campaign, like the Italians in Somaliland, or maybe some of the naval battles in the Mediterranean Sea. We are waiting for the Pacific DLC, because maybe the naval warfare is gonna be reworked, I think. So maybe if we do like that much of naval battles, then we have to change them when Pacific is here. So we're trying to wait for that, but at least if it comes later in the year, maybe we can just rework that and whatever. But
Sounds good to me. Trying to mount a breakthrough here. Little bit messy. I see the AI's got plenty of money. Okay, I've got the tank in a pin. So he's done. Finally. Only 3 turns left. Wow. You've definitely got the balance down here.
Yeah, that's. We actually suggest people to maybe when you start this scenario, just to save a time for looking at all the map and what strategy you are wanting to go for it, because otherwise you will find out like um, you will end up improvising, and that is the key to disaster in a military campaign.
I like improvising. I guess I'm going to have to dogpile this unit if I'm going to get it down in time. I'm in a pin. I'm going to presume that that guy will not move from that position. Got him. I needed every turn there. I needed literally every turn to succeed. The mission was a total success. No one suspects our part in this operation. Our part is over and we will just have to let the politicians take it from here. With war definitely on the horizon, you ponder what lies ahead. There's little time for reflection. You must report immediately to one of 2 army groups. You have very little time to make that decision. The world would not know of this incident until after the war was over, when a little-known operative named Alfred Narjox signed an affidavit admitting to receiving orders to plan and conduct the operation. Okay, so that's the first mission. You want to talk about the first mission a little bit?
Well, actually, sorry. Well, actually, the first mission, it wasn't gonna be the first mission of the campaign. Actually, I started with the next scenario that we were going to play, and then it will be starting the campaign with choosing where to go, if you want to go to Army Group North or Army Group South. But then I think about it. I have read a lot of books about the 1939 campaign, and I have read about the incident, and I have said, okay, this incident was never. I have never seen, in a scenario in any war game about this. So maybe we can start with this, and it's gonna be an interesting start for the campaign, because something that I have never done before, and that's what was my main thought about this scenario.
So you're deep in the history then. You're quite the history nerd, digging up this like obscure little false flag operation.
Yeah, I will not say that I'm that much into history, but I have read quite a bit about this stuff, because since we are doing this in a war game, I think that a lot of people that plays the game has a little bit of knowledge about the World War II, or some others are maybe historians, or even people who is into military. Um, I don't know what is the word, but
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, I get what you mean. So should we go north or should we go south, in your opinion?
Maybe we should go south, because it has the more interesting scenarios. Or
Your wish is my command, Herr General.
okay.
Any thoughts so far, Rick? You still alive?
Well, and you didn't play it on the most difficult level.
Well, I wanted to show the mod as it was at the standard difficulty for because this is not about me.
Right.
All right, it's a battle briefing. General Oberst Jared von Rundstedt.
Welcome, Herr General. As you are well aware of by now, we will be launching Fallwise in the morning. Our main plan here for Army Group South is to conduct a pincer operation along with Army Group North towards Warsaw. The aim is to entrap the bulk of the Polish army west of the Vistula River. Your assignment will be to attack the heavily fortified Częstochowa sector. Herr General, during this campaign I will be giving you great latitude to achieve the objective of the battle plan. You will be given a lot of swayes to the personnel recruitments as well. You seem to have garnered great favor with High Command as well as myself. I have given Lieutenant Havertz a copy of the battle plan for your sector. He will brief you on the details. That is all for now.
The battle plan. Herr General, our troops are ready to be deployed along the Polish border. This is a very big map compared to the previous map. Once secured, we can then commence the capture of Szczecinowa, I think that is.
It's named Częstochowa, but it is
Częstochowa.
quite hard. Or I'm not Polish, so it is hard to pronounce.
We may have to consider crossing the Water River and cutting them off from the rear. We should expect that the Poles will destroy any bridges crossing the Water River, so we should bring our accompaniment of bridging engineers.
Yeah, those are key.
Get troops into position. We attack at dawn. Oh, ferocious defense. I'm cursed, by the way. I don't know if you know this. It's a running meme that I get all the worst heroes.
When I played this, I had a 0 slots. Actually, what we were thinking is to offer different, instead of having the random heroes, we were trying to make something like in each scenario you have to choose if you want between like 2 or 3 heroes, but that will be a lot of work in the scripting, so we had the idea on hold, maybe for people that wants to give his thoughts about that idea. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have got a Discord, right? You can just drop the link for it in the chat if you're looking for people for feedback. If you guys are interested in this mod and want to see it grow and develop.
Actually, we did that on Steam, and we got an unwanted visitor on the forums. I know everybody knows who is. But I don't know. Maybe we can do that.
Well, it's up to you guys. I mean, I'm here for you guys. I mean, there's obviously the mod itself. When you go to install it, you can use the chat section there as well, if that's more your thing. I have a lot of money to spend, a lot of slots to fill. .24-centimeter guns. That's spicy and expensive.
I would recommend you to buy a strong Air Force here, because you will have to get rid of some of the bomber brigade.
Alright, let's grab 3 fighters then. Oh, the old strategic bombers are quite expensive. In the early war, they're in the base game they're quite cheap.
Yeah, those are Storm changes. He changed a lot of the cost of the units. I think he wanted to create some balance, uh, that it differs from the original game. So we'll see that some units have different stats or whatsoever. I actually was thinking about changing some of the units' um, dates, maybe. For example, you have in the base campaign, you have no Panzer 3 until 1940. Maybe I tried or thinking about maybe introducing them maybe in the mid of the Polish campaign, so you can start doing them. But I actually don't know what people think about it.
All right, I've spent myself dry. I should make sure to capture some enemies because I need money. Only 20 turns to take this whole map.
Yeah. So you need to choose wisely what to do. By the way, we have identified some issues with the mod. That is, the prestige, awards in each scenario are not what we intended in the first time. Because I have a problem with one of the settings in the editor, so I didn't get it how it actually worked, and I have ended up missing it. But we have fixed that for the future updates that will come along with actually a really big update for 1959. So maybe if you guys play this later and you found things different, just please keep in mind that we are going to update this.
I don't have any anti-aircraft guns, I've just realized. Okay, let's have a look at where the enemy airfields are. One in the town, one down here, and a couple up the top as well. I think this airfield here is the only one that's actually in range of the start position. I think what I'll do is I'll actually sell this unit and grab myself some AA guns. Okay, all right. Was my deployment roughly what you expected, or do you guys deploy something different?
No, I think it's right, because if you need to focus on 2 points at a time, because if you will not get it. Maybe the prestige I wasn't expecting, but as I said, we had a problem with the prestige award, so that should be fixed for the next update.
Okay, all right. We're off. So who designed this mission? Who do I blame?
You should blame me.
By the way, I'm like suicidal.
Sure,
Why is-
after he
why is my
initiated
blame?
it, so you can blame me too.
There's no easy way to trade with this with the Polish fighter planes. They seem quite powerful. Oh, I rolled pretty badly there, but oh well. Hey, I got a high roll on the artillery and just took it out in one hit.
I blinked and that artillery gun disappeared.
Sorry? You blinked and it disappeared.
Well, actually, I don't know if that is the correct word. Let me see.
It is, don't worry.
Oh, okay, thanks. For anyone wanting to join the Discord server, you can message us from the Slitherine forum. You can go to the Storm Over Europe thread and you can message either me or Rick and we can add you.
I'm gonna try and create a pin here if I can. Oh, I forgot to give the these artillery transports. They didn't come with transports. I'd planned to put this artillery back here to defend these units, but oh well, let's just go on the offensive. So my plan here is if this center section cuts down, then I can quickly surround all of this and kill it all. Okay. Based on the timings of the previous mission, you know, I'm avoiding a plodding pace here. I'm actually I'm going quite aggressively. Was that your intention to keep people pushing forward?
Yeah, that's the main thing. But actually, you have to think about your movements too, because otherwise you're gonna be having a lot of losses.
Otherwise, what? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. If you don't think carefully about your movements, you're gonna going to have a lot of losses or casualties. So you'll have to think very well what your next move is gonna be. But you need to be aggressive. But actually, I mean, obviously, we are. I mean, you can never stop balancing in a scenario, you know. So if people say that maybe one scenario is too hard, we will just have to adjust it. Maybe add some more turns, or maybe add transports. Because some scenarios I forgot to add maybe trains, or you know transport.
So you're really keen on the community's feedback then?
Yeah, because we are doing this for the community, and so if nobody can play it because it's maybe too hard, or maybe they complain because maybe it is too easy, we need to adjust that, because that's the way how we can approach people.
Cool. I think I'm happy with this first turn. I'm making some incisions here with my tanks, with the idea that I'll surround these forces and then push forward. I noticed that the regular infantry got downgraded to just 2 slots, because a lot of people do feel like the regular infantry doesn't really shine in Panzer Corps 2.
Yeah, I think that actually was a strong case. So I don't really remember if I downgraded the. Maybe the main problem with infantry is that maybe like I think that the main point of Panzer Corps is, as the name says, it's the Panzer, so maybe infantry gets a little bit behind. So maybe some minor stat changes can be good for them.
Oh, a train. I see the aggression on the AI here. that was pretty vicious. All right, I have to think about. I gotta think about what I'm doing here to maybe encircle some of these units, get some money back. Oh, I rolled really badly there. Oh, and again. Tell you, man, I'm cursed.
One of the things that I changed for this scenario for the update is that, for example, the bomber units will have camouflage, visuals for identifying it quicker, in the, for accomplishing the objective.
Okay, got him pinned. I'm setting up here to steal this tank, as you can probably guess. I do like money. So this is a bomber, this is a bomber. No, that's a fighter. Poland definitely puts up more of a fight in your mod than in the base game. Did you change the way that fortification works at all, or do units just fortify, same as the base game?
I don't remember actually. I don't know if Rick changed it.
Same.
I can't get a unit in there. That's unfortunate. Okay, let's take a defensive position like this. Great to see the promotion of a mod on the official publisher channel, says Ann Chilico. Right, I mean we're actually nearly out of time, so Marco unfortunately gobbled up about 15 minutes of our time. But are there any plugs or any particular things that you want to say about Storm Over Europe? It looks great. It's so I think this is certainly, it feels to me like this is a mod for an experienced player, someone who has definitely maybe played the base game right through and is looking for something to get their teeth into.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Rick is the most experienced player because I have 2,000 hours in Panzer Corps too, but like more than like I don't know 1,500 from developing.
I got about 1,000 hours, so
I actually spend a lot of time creating those maps.
Rick? I think Rick is plagued by technical difficulties today.
I don't know. I don't know if you can still hear me.
Yes, we hear you. Please share your
Okay.
insight with us.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not that experienced, you can still play the mod. You're just going to have to choose different helps, whether in the commander traits or playing on a lower level, which sometimes doesn't help playing it on a lower level. So what I would suggest, like changing the commander traits to benefit you.
Oh, he's nowhere near suppressed enough for me to capture him cleanly. Dun dun dun. Give me some of that money. I need money so badly.
If you would have had an imported core, you'd have more prestige than what you get from starting from scratch.
I need your clothes, your boots, and your Flammwaffen.
Yeah, actually, when I load the import core from Civil War, I get Verdeja 2, well, like 20 overstrength with 3 heroes. I think it was Tank Killer, Butcher, and I don't remember the last one. And that thing killed 4 units in a row. So it's pretty destroying.
Yeah, because we've actually we've skipped the first part of the mod here, right? You can export your core from the Spanish Civil War part of your mod to this section, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Have a lot more heroes
Yeah.
that carry over.
You thought about adding additional heroes and such to a cold start for this section if someone wants to skip Spanish Civil War?
Yeah,
We can certainly do that.
It's just a thought. I mean, obviously, we're just showing off like the second bit of the campaign here because this is where everything really kicks off. But it is intended for people to play Spanish Civil War first, right? Export their core and then import it into this.
Yeah, you can start playing with 1989 too, because we try to make like in TX's operations where you can start with a new core or load the previous core from the previous campaign. But I think because we didn't add that much heroes in Spanish Civil War. I mean, obviously the random ones and maybe heroes like Gallant or we had some extra heroes. We invented one of the characters from Adekman, who helped us with the briefings in the previous campaign. And then we have right now in 1929 we have more heroes. You have some heroes that people like it, like Rudel, but he starts as a recon hero, like in the Panzer Corps 1. We have Bitman, which is a little bit controversial, but I don't know. I mean, it's history, you know.
It's a warrior. I mean, there are plenty of controversial figures in the war for obvious reasons. So, but you know, we're here for the gameplay. Really, this is not actually about the politics of the war.
Yeah, because I think that there are a lot of characters that are really important in the war. If you cannot mention them because people get upset about it. Obviously, you're not going to add all these massacre stuff, but I mean, mention to them, I think that will not harm anyone.
Killing. Sorry. Okay, just tidying up my forces here. Right, we're almost at the end of our hour and a half allotment. So what I'm going to do is we'll just we'll bring this play to a close. Okay, and we'll take a few questions from the chat. This will be uploaded on YouTube as well, both on my channel and on the official channel. So I will be around to answer your questions in both of those places, and I will give the link to these guys, to Ezekiel and Rick here, so they can also answer your questions. Hopefully we made the installation process very obvious, very simple. I'll just put as much detail as I can into the descriptions as well, so you guys have got all the information. Any last final questions from the chat? I think we've answered everything there is to answer. Thank you very much for joining me, guys. I got to appreciate the fact that you're not streamed before, never done this kind of thing before. I think you've acquitted yourselves well, so that's really good. Any final words, Ezekiel?
Oh no, really, thank you for having us here, and yeah, we'd never done this before, but I think it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't so bad. Rick, any final words from you?
thank everyone for showing up for the mod, and hopefully don't you have another one coming up with Grondell, one of our compatriots, next time. So be sure to tune in for that because he is the luau guru. If you have luau questions, he's the one to ask.
Yeah. So next week in What's Your Mod, we are going to have the Panzer Corps 1 Grand Campaign remake for Panzer Corps 2, and we'll have the guy that Rick has just mentioned, hopefully, on there to answer all your questions about that as well. And as always, we're around. We hope you guys enjoyed this. It's certainly it's got a very good thought out tight balance. So you can tell from that these guys have really put their hearts and souls into it. So pop that subscribe down on their on the Steam page and grab the mod and give it a go. And that is it for What's Your Mod. So goodbye everybody, and we will see you all next time.